Hello, hello. First off, I just want to say thank you so much for being willing to be flexible and to take what is usually a one-on-one call and kind of transform that into a video call. I thank you so much for that. My name is Jasmine. I am the distributor of these water ionizers through Enagic. This is technology that is used throughout the globe for water wellness, used in hospitals. We'll talk more about that soon, but for water therapies. And I'm just really glad that you found my page and that we were able to connect. So I just want to jump in. And first, I want to just pose some questions. Usually, this is when I get to know you a little bit. And so this is an opportunity for you to reflect. But question one, what would your life look like in 5 years if you changed nothing? If you did absolutely nothing, you didn't change your job, didn't change locations, didn't change relationships, didn't change your mindset, or didn't grow in your spirituality, if you just stayed the exact same that you are right now, what would your life look like in 5 years? Um, Something that I am really convicted of is just this understanding that what we do today really does have an impact for our future. And so, part of what I love about my job is not just getting healthy technology into people's hands, but also giving them vision and purpose and just kind of casting out what their future looks like and helping them achieve those goals. So I want you to think about that. In 5 years from now, you know your age. I don't. So calculate how old you'll be. What would it look like if you did absolutely nothing? Would you be satisfied or would you be disappointed in yourself? Would you be full of pride and joy in who you are, or would you be wrestling with a lot of shame? Those are questions only you can answer, but I want you to pause and seriously consider what life would look like in 5 years if you change nothing. Um, and question number two is another really big one that I've even had to stop and ponder with my own health, and a big reason why I chose water ionizing technology. And so, number two, what has your current health cost you? At first, you might be like, Jasmine, what in the world does that mean? But what I'm asking is, how many days of class have you missed? Or how many days of work have you had to pass? Have you been able to keep a steady job because of your health? And I don't just mean your physical health, because, I'm also talking about your mental health. When we have those really bad days, has it cost your friendships? And then monetarily, like how many different doctor's appointments, medications, therapies, how many different things have you spent money on trying to pursue healing? Um, that's a really tough question. That was a big reason why I took the jump into water wellness, and I'm so glad I did because it has been transformational. Um, so those two first questions, 5 years, what would your life look like? And then what has your health cost you? And then here's a question that I hope brings a little bit more hope. In an ideal world, what does a typical day look like 5 years from now? So again, we're sticking with that futuristic. We're thinking ahead. We're not staying stagnant in who we are today. But in a perfect world, what does a typical day look like for you? These are all great questions that I would recommend taking some time to even journal out a little bit. I'm a big journaler, so I highly would recommend that for you. But just as an outsider, someone who hardly knows you, what I desire for all of my clients is that within 5 years, I hold an expectation that you would be encountering healing on a daily basis, that you would be filled with hope and joy and peace and patience, that you would be thriving, that you would be proud of your finances, that you would be in control of your finances, that you are no longer bound by those really terrible hard mental health weeks. We're talking weeks, not just days. But that you would find freedom and deliverance from those things. So those are also my prayers for my clients as well. I work with people from all over the globe. I've made some amazing connections, and this is just that's the future I see for all of the people I work with and that I have just contact with. So think about that. In a perfect world, what does a typical day look like for you? Um, Are you like going into work? Are you working for someone else? In a perfect world, are you struggling with depression and anxiety, or are you free from that? In a perfect world, are you like stressing over your finances, or are you absolutely in control and you know you have more than enough, but you can start living generously for other people? Yeah, so just really great questions to stop and think about. But what you want to know about is Enagic and this water ionizer and what it does and how in the world you can get this in your home. Well, that's my job and that's what I love doing. So the water ionizers are created by a company called Enagic. This is an international company, so these ionizers are all over the globe. And I have, like I said, a lot of friends and peers that I work with. In Europe, particularly. My upline, she has a lot of friends in Australia. So it's been really beautiful to see the camaraderie around this technology and to hear real testimonies from hundreds of thousands of people using this on a daily basis. So Enagic is a Japanese-based company. That's where they began. This company has a ton of integrity from the CEO down. They really prioritize making sure that their products are well designed, that they're created with only the best of the best materials to ensure longevity. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And so this company has had outstanding reviews for almost 50 years. Next year, we celebrate 50 years, and we're really excited. On top of that, Enagic is growing like crazy, particularly in the US. So this is very common technology in Japan already, given that's where this company was based out of. 1 out of 5 adults own their own ionizer in Japan. And so that is slowly making its way to our side of the planet. But this is also a company that has a variety of certificates and just awards. You see 5 here, but they truly do establish excellence. So that is the company, Enagic. You'll see that and hear that a whole bunch. But Enagic, they make water ionizers, obviously. And they specifically make the K8, which is the best quality of water ionizers on the market to date. Here's a couple reasons why, but also how it works. So this is a piece of technology that uses electricity. You have to plug it in. It does connect to your water as well, obviously. But what it does is inside this white machine are 8 platinum dipped titanium plates. I mean, you can read along with me. But it says water is broken down into OH negative, so hydroxide ions, and H positive, hydrogen ions. And then it reacts with the electrons provided by the charged electrode. I mean, you can read all of this. It's very scientific. But essentially, we see this happening in nature anytime lightning strikes water. In that moment lightning strikes, you are having ionized water. And what this technology does is it takes that lightning strike and it brings it into our kitchen sinks. It's amazing. And when that happens, the water is zapped, for lack of a better word, but it creates a supply of antioxidant, anti-inflammatory molecular hydrogen. So molecular hydrogen, again, it sounds really wordy, but that is the source of all of the health benefits. Of course, water itself, we know is good for us. We're made of over 70% water, right? But the molecular hydrogen is what makes this water different. So this is not a kind of water you can just buy from the store. This is not water you can just bottle up and use a month later. This is water that is intended to drink the moment it comes out of this machine. Another cool fact about this water, which we'll get into more of the way it affects our body here shortly, but this water breaks through the blood-brain barrier in our bodies. So again, stick with me here. Think of it like a chain link fence. If you throw a basketball at a chain link fence, that basketball is never, ever going to get through that fence. But if you throw pebbles at the fence, the pebbles are going to be able to get through the fence. And so here with this machine, it does exactly that. It takes water that's basketball sized, uses electricity, and it creates pebble-like water that can actually penetrate our cells. So our cells are being hydrated, but also cleansed. Very, very quite cool. So some facts about the K8, and we're going to dive into the specifics here shortly, but there are 6 different settings on the K8, and it creates 5 types of water. We have it creates strong acidic water, that's 2.5, all the way up to strong alkaline, which is 11.5. These words don't mean a lot right now, but that's okay. We'll dig into that. You'll see here that drinking water, it has an ORP and oxidative reduction potential of -600 to -800. For reference, typical tap water has an ORP of +200 and +400. So this water is substantially healthier for us to be drinking. It's not going to be acidic. It's quite the opposite. It's beneficial to our bodies. It's going to neutralize those acidic what are they called? Acidic ions in our body. And yeah, there are 8 different languages if you speak more than English. 5-year warranty. And the coolest part about this technology, this single machine has a lifetime of 25 years plus. So this one machine is going to get a long, long, long lifeline here. So we're going to get into some of these settings so you can see firsthand what they do, how to use them, because when you do get your own machine, I want you to be educated and to have the ability and the confidence to use your machine to the max potential. So you'll see here those first 3, 1, 2, 3, 8.5, 9.0, 9.5. These are the 3 optimal drinking options. Ideally, we drink this 9.5 on a daily basis. When you first get your machine, it's important to start at the 8.5 and work your way up just to prevent some sort of like detox symptoms. I did not start at 8.5. I was like, I'm tough. I can start at the 9.5. And I had some detox symptoms. So my husband did not, but I did. So you know your body well. If you're usually sensitive to some things, maybe start here and work your way up. But these are the 3 settings that are going to give you that rich molecular hydrogen drinking water. This water is medical grade. So if you do travel often, or if you are flying in airplanes, you can actually take this water through security. They'll take a little dip test thing, they'll test it and say it's good, and you can go through. Medical grade, that's also why so many hospitals are using this water for therapies, of course, for healing as well, which we'll get into the setting for that. But you'll read here, there's a whole bunch. This is just a few that I pulled out. This water contributes to the regulation of muscle atrophy, death or cell death, muscle fatigue, soreness, cramping. It does counteract acid buildup. So that's a really big one and something a lot of people notice fairly quickly after drinking the water. Most people tend to say they recognize a true difference when they drink this water for about 3 to 6 months is when they can start to be like, oh yeah, I do feel different. People, of course, taste a difference immediately. That's usually the first thing. Another immediate, I don't want to say symptom, but just testimony of this water. Like you can drink an entire jug of this water and it will never slosh around in your stomach. That's just the power of the absorption of this water. So if you don't like that bloated, uncomfy feeling, this water will never give you that sensation. The next setting I want to talk about is this 7.0 setting. This is clean water. It's just a basic pH, so it's not going to house a ton of that molecular hydrogen, but this is great to use for baby formula. This is what you use to take your prescribed medication, and it's just a really helpful thing to have just on hand. So that would be your clean water option. We're going to try and plow through these because I know I want to be respectful of your time, respectful of mine. But the 6.0 is when we switch from the hydrating water that we drink to the functional water that leads to hundreds of dollars being saved annually. So the 6.0, it's known as beauty water, and it's known as beauty water because it replicates the same pH as our hair, as our skin. So this is often used a lot of times for skincare, hair care. That was something I was so excited about. When I got my machine, I played around with some of the different settings. I found my perfect skincare routine. So I am no longer spending $250+ a month on skincare, but I just use water from my machine. And I'm so thankful. Like my skin has never been so clean and soft. And I've noticed the textures are significantly less visible. It's just my husband's been using it too, so it's been a game changer for us for sure. But there are so many other ways to use this setting as well, so I'm just going to read a few of them. Said skincare, it's a toner, balances, hydrates. You can use this as a hair conditioner. This is great for skin or rashes. So like diaper rash for babies, but also like if you just get a rash from, outdoor allergies or whatever, this is great to use. It's also the top water for houseplants. I love houseplants. My house is like an indoor forest. And so this is what I'm constantly using for my outdoor flowers as well as my indoor plants. It's a glass cleaner. You can wipe your glasses with this water. You can use it for mirrors, windows, of course. Fabric softener. You use this to polish your floors. You can use it to freeze food. If you're interested in getting a long list, like a comprehensive list of all of the uses, I have access to that, and I would be happy to give that to you. And then another setting. I love, love, love this setting. So this is the 2.5 setting right here, this red one. It's the last one we're going to talk about, but with this one setting, it creates two functional types of water. So it's going to create electrolyzed hypochlorous acid, and then it's also going to create 11.5 oil emulsifying water. So here's how. In the machine, there are going to be two lines, and all of the other settings, if they say 9.5, 8.5, 8.0, whatever setting you click, it's going to come out of this primary hose, and this is what you'll use to drink. But the 2.5 setting, this is the only setting that does this. The 2.5 setting, when you click it, 2.5 comes out of the secondary hose. So that's strong acidic water. And then 11.5 strong alkaline water, that's oil emulsifying, will come out of this hose right here. So that's the only one. It's also the only setting that uses a salt solution. So this is also something unique to the K8. So there are other ionizers on the market, but this is the only ionizer with 8 titanium plates. All of the others, the next best one has 7. And this is the only ionizer that creates HOCl, hypochlorous acid. So hypochlorous acid is an FDA-approved disinfectant. It is more effective than bleach, and we'll get into that in just a second. It's also the same binding agent, the same biological binding agent that we find within our bodies. So let's talk about bleach for a second. If you look over here on my chart, let's talk about E. coli. E. coli, you try to use bleach to kill that, it's going to take 10 minutes. If you use this HOCl from the K8, it takes 5 seconds to kill. Okay, COVID, if you use bleach, it takes a whole minute. If you use HOCl, it takes 30 seconds. I have cured so many sinus infections with this water. That was actually one of the biggest reasons why I got this machine. I had been dealing with a 6 or 7 month long throat infection, and my sinuses were just chronically infected and nothing was kicking it. I had taken steroids, I had taken antibiotics, I had gone to the doctor, I was chronically fatigued. It was just a really hard season of life. And I got this water, and as soon as I started using some nasal sprays with this HOCl, it was gone in 3 days, and it has not returned. So very thankful for this. I mean, let's go all the way down to bronchitis, right? Use bleach, takes 30 minutes. Use HOCl, it kills it in 30 seconds, right? Salmonella, like stuff from the chicken, right? Like 1 minute versus 5 seconds. So I'm using this HOCl. I have a spray bottle upstairs in my kitchen. The spray bottle for like cleaning my kitchen, my countertops, my sinks, my bathrooms. I clean everything with this stuff because it is so effective and it's entirely safe. I love that. So like if you have kids running around, or if you're babysitting, or if you accidentally drink some of this HOCl, it might upset your stomach a little bit because it's not intended to be drank, but you do not have to rush yourself or those kids off to the ER. You do not have to worry about anyone getting sick or like violently vomiting from this. It's water. It's HOCl. We find this in our bodies. There's no additional chemicals to this. It's just pure. It's clean. It works. It blows my mind that less people know about this because it's incredible. So here are just, again, some of my favorite uses that I've used this for. Sinus infections, use it to stop vomiting, use on open wounds or burns, acne. It's so good for acne. Sunburn, stop bleeding, nail fungus, pink eye. I mean, you can keep going. Fever blisters, deodorant fleas. I use this stuff all the time in our home. And I'm so very thankful for that. So that's the 2.5 setting. And like I said, out of that primary hose, this one right here, when you click that setting, 11.5 oil emulsifying water will come out of that hose. So if you were to actually touch, like feel this water, it's going to feel a little slimy. Now, if you were to drink it, because again, we'll get to why you would do that. If you do take a shot of it, you'll feel how like slimy it is, and it's supposed to do that. And then the 2.5, I didn't mention this, but it actually has a smell to it, so you can experience this water when you're using it as well. But 11.5, it removes all of the oil-based pesticides and herbicides from your fresh produce. I do not eat fresh produce without like dunking it in some 11.5 now. You can see the grime and the pesticides just coming off of the food. It's disgusting, but very thankful I have this. You can take a shot of it for good sleep. It's a great eye wash for puppy eyes. I use this as my makeup remover, heartburn, indigestion. It also prevents hangovers. So not that I'm going to condone like partying and then just taking, anyways, but it does work. I have tried it and tested it. If you know that you're going to wake up with a headache, take a shot of this before bed. You will be fine the next morning. It's great for arthritis, gout, muscle soreness. Again, you just take a shot of this a day if you're struggling with those things, tendinitis, that kind of stuff. You can use this to replace your laundry detergent. It takes out oil stains. I mean, there's just, again, these are just a few of some that I have used personally. But I have a long, long list of other ways you can be using this water. So those are the uses of the machine, the settings of the machine. I love it. Obviously, this is like my thing that I'm very passionate about, but I do not merely specialize in this technology. My specialization is actually in oh my goodness, my brain is just, whoo, that's okay. I'm taking a deep breath. I specialize in a product, like a group of products known as the trifecta. This is what I have in my home. It's what I use again on a daily basis. Not product. I'm trying to think of that word. It's just like it floated away. What product? It'll come to me, and when it does, I'll just shout it out. But so not only am I drinking this super healthy ionized water that is transforming my health, but I am bathing and showering in this water as well. And that's the biggest thing. So our skin is our largest organ. Everything that you put on your skin gets absorbed into our body. Everything from the makeup you put on your face to the lotion you wear as a moisturizer to the soap you use to wash your hands. Everything is being absorbed into your body. So if you're drinking healthy water, but you are showering and bathing in contaminated water, you're kind of counterbalancing yourself here. You are. That's exactly what you're doing. And so I have made it a priority to make sure that not only is not only me, but my family, like my children as well, are drinking and bathing in water that is safe and promotes the best health possible for them. So that would be called the Inespa. I'll just take a brief moment. There's only one slide for this, but this is a shower and bath filtration and remineralization system. So it filters out all of the chlorine from the tap water, and it also removes any chance for chloroform exposure. So chloroform was used in hospitals for surgeries for decades. And then in 2017, it was condemned and removed from all hospitals because they were like, oh, this is not good for you. And yet when chlorine gets put into steam, chloroform is being exposed in our showers every time. So it's wild to me that we can remove it from hospitals, but we're not removing it from our tap water. Anywho, it also creates a slight alkalinity. So it does that by these 3 mineral stones. It's providing safe water that is incredible for your skin and your hair and your nails. My husband is a little bit of a skeptic. That's just his personality. He was all in on the K8, super excited. We did research for years on this technology. And then when it came time for the Inespa, he was like, I don't know if I'll be able to tell a difference. His first shower, he came back and was like, I can tell. So this has really transformed our health as well. So very thankful for that. And then the third part, so trifecta, 3, the third part, the K8, the Inespa, and UConn. These are all things that I have in my house, and I'm so thankful that we took that investment and we took it seriously. But the UConn, that is simply the name of a subscription for high quality turmeric products. All created by Enagic. This is their soap. I mean, you can see that there. I use their soap and their supplements. They also create tea. I'm not a huge tea drinker, so like I haven't ventured out to try it. But you can either do a 4-month subscription, or you can also just do an annual subscription. That would be up to you. But anyways, that's the soap, and I'm really thankful for it. Those are the pieces of it. So this is a part that you really want to know, that you have all the questions about, and I'm here to answer them for you. So we're going to be talking about financing options, specifically for the K8 and the others as well, just so you have access to the information. The K8, without the household savings, right? I told you, like, I'm not buying skincare. I'm not buying like cleaners for the house. It saved me on doctor's bills, like vet bills for my dog, saved me a lot of money on a lot of things, right? Not including any of that. Owning a K8 cost about 42 cents a day, which is about $12.60 a month over the lifetime of this machine, right? See, when you break it down, you're like, oh my gosh, why doesn't everyone have this machine? It's $12 a month for the lifetime of this machine. That's like, that blows my mind. People pay hundreds of dollars for like life insurance, but we can't buy technology for $12. I don't get it. Anyways, but that's what it comes down to. And you do have a couple of different options for financing. So now we're going to get into, some more savings. I forgot I put this in there. This was just for you. So I don't know. I know you have your filter. I can't remember if you do drink any bottled water. I can't remember what you said about that, but I just wanted to do some comparison. Okay. So let's say you drink Dasani water for 15 years. That's just like your go-to. You really like the taste. It makes you feel good. People are spending about $22,000 for 15 years of just drinking this water, right? Let's look at Fiji. Fiji was outrageous to me. Okay, so Fiji water, if you are drinking Fiji water for 15 years, like you're spending $126,000 on water. I don't even, and on top of that, just the plastic that's just being thrown into our environment. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of like red flags being thrown up right now. The Kangen water machine, you buy once, and not just for 15 years, for 25 plus years, you're spending under 5K. How crazy is that for just the machine? So the next slide, I'm going to start breaking down the logistics with shipping and handling. We're going to be talking about that salt solution for the 2.5 setting. And here it is. So these are the services, the K8, the Anespa, the UCAN. The K8 with shipping and handling, I went in, did all the research, got the numbers for you. The total is $5,300. That would be your total. I also, for all of my clients, when people go and purchase their machines, I strongly advise you also go ahead and purchase a year supply. It's going to last me more than a year, but a year supply of electrolysis enhancer. So if you look here, see that little square? There is a little compartment in here that you refill with a salt solution every once in a while. When you first get your machine, you'll replace it often. But after a month, I have replaced mine maybe once a month, probably closer to 5 or 6 weeks. And so that's just going to be determined by how much 2.5 and 11.5 you are using. But when you take in consideration shipping, handling, your machine, the electrolysis enhancer, it also comes with every single adapter, all of the diverters, everything you need to connect this to your water source. It's going to be a total of $5,400. Okay, right here, that number. The Anespa, you can see here, that's about $3,000. UConn, you can do either this $820 for every 4 months or this $2,000 for every year. Right now, I'm doing the 4-month subscription. I think next year I'll switch to the year just because you do save a little bit of money. But that is the trifecta. This is what I specialize in. This is what I use on a daily basis, and this would be my top recommendation. We will start wherever you need to start. But this is where I hold an expectation for my clients to have in their homes at some point. It's just very important, especially for people who are on a journey to heal. So as far as your financing options go, we have a lot of flexibility. You can obviously do a cash option. It's a debt-free single payment option. I didn't have just, 5K laying around. Maybe you do. If you do, that would be a super easy option where you can just pay for it with your card or however you want to online. That's an option. The option that I was able to pursue was the zero down, zero interest. So what we did, we had a credit score that was decent, and so we were able to apply for and get a new credit card that had bonuses. You could like earn points and rewards, that sort of stuff, on top of building our credit score. So this is one of those products where debt doesn't have to be a bad thing. And actually the debt from this technology is a very good thing because it is, again, building our credit score, giving us rewards, and it's amazing for our health, and it's creating that generational wealth as well. So very thankful for that. If you do not have a credit score of 700 or above, then we have plenty of options here as well. So LendingTree is something that my upline and like the people I work with have used often, and they have had great success with it. Discovery also has a credit building program if you would like be interested in that as well. Last but not least, if none of these options are an option for you, Enagic does have in-house financing. Now, I say that hesitantly. I was trying to decide if I was even going to mention that or not, because I would not recommend that to any of my clients. There are some pretty hefty fees. I think it's an additional $20 every month up to like 24 months. So that comes out to be several $100s more. And if you do miss a payment, it goes directly to collections, and people can get in a lot of trouble through that. So I would save that as a last resort. People have also found a lot of success in that too. So if that is something we need to do, I'm happy to walk you through that process. After people understand like how to use this technology, the financing is the last piece of the puzzle. And it is something that I'm happy to walk you through, to give you resources for. I'm not going to just like make you figure it out on your own, but those are some of the options. So I would love to hear what questions you have. They can be about the specifics of the machine. It can be anything about the trifecta. I also wanted to mention that when you purchase your machine, you automatically have rights to distribute as well. And I only mention that because when you get your machine, you likely have people in your life who are going to be like, well, what is this? Right? Like, it's just a natural, like, why did you get this? Like, why do you care so much about your water? Like, what is water therapy? And like, why is this working for you? People in life are just going to have a lot of questions. And so as you have conversations, I just want to empower you and let you know that there are no fees. There are no expectations from Enagic. If you do decide you want to do this business later on, or even now, then you can't de-rank. So it's an amazing opportunity for the present or the future. For example, if I were to stop right now, I'm never going to de-rank, and I could just pick up a year from now where I left off with no like consequences. And that's unheard of in just like the MLM business opportunities. So yes, I think that was a lot. I think that was all I wanted to share with you today. Let me know what questions you have, how I can be a resource, how I can help. Let me know what financing option you are leaning towards the most. From there, I'll be able to kind of help guide you and just get you in the right direction. But once you have made a decision, I would be happy to send you the link, and you can order that today. So as far as ordering goes, what that looks like, I'll simply need your email. You will get an email from me with a link. You click it, it pops up, poop, and then you just order it like you would anything on Amazon. It's just really basic. If you do have questions, again, I want to know what those are. I'm happy to help, but that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to just learn about this technology. And I'm here for you in whatever way needed. So thanks. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.